Hi guys, I'm This Movie Guy, and today I'm doing my first out of a couple of spoiler-filled videos about Rogue One. Which means, if you've not seen Rogue One, which I consider to be the second best Star Wars movie ever, yes, I said that. I have seen it a lot of times already, I'm going to see it a lot more times, and I absolutely love this movie right now. So, if you've not seen it, I suggest you switch off this video, see the movie first, and then come back later. I have a spoiler-free review already up on my channel that you can check out if you want to be convinced why you should see it, because from now on I'm just going to talk about the spoilers in this movie. In this video, I wanted to talk about the classic characters, or just some characters that we know from like Clone Wars, Rebels, or perhaps even some of the novels and comics that show up in Rogue One, because there are quite a lot of cameos or just actual roles for people in this movie. So let's start off with the first one, which for me was like the biggest of all the characters that returned in this movie, Tarkin. Tarkin is a character that I have started to love after I saw more of him in Clone Wars and Rebels and I read his novel. There is a novel, simply called Tarkin. If you haven't read it, I do suggest you read it, especially after Catalyst, because Catalyst ends where Tarkin starts off, so you can really like fit it seamlessly together. If you read Catalyst first and then read Tarkin, you really get an amazing character study of who Tarkin is, like where he comes from and why he is such a part in this movie. Because I've seen people complain about the fact that Tarkin is in this movie and Darth Vader not that much, but if you read like a Tarkin or a Catalyst, you know why Tarkin is in it and not Darth Vader. Tarkin is the boss of the Death Star. He oversees everything. He is very good friends with both the Emperor and Darth Vader, so of course he has a little bit of easiness becoming that boss instead of Krennic, because Krennic all throughout the movie and all throughout Catalyst was already like, I want to beat Tarkin, I want to be the boss of the Death Star, and every time he was losing it to Tarkin, and in the end of course he lost, because of course at the end, and this is I think something that Tarkin did on purpose, like Tarkin kind of knows that Krennic is on Scarif, so probably Tarkin just said, fire when ready, and Krennic is dead, no competition anymore, and I'm now the boss of the Death Star. But it was great to see Tarkin on screen, even though his CGI face was a little at times. I'm already more okay with it, especially if you realize that actual bad CGI you have in the prequels, and there is worse CGI in even The Force Awakens. Like, I thought the CGI was decent. It's really when he talks that you can see that it's CG, but other than that, I thought it was great to just have him on screen, because it is the character, the screen time that he has is perfectly used, and it, I think, makes Tarkin even a better character in A New Hope, because that is something that this movie does overall, like enhance things of A New Hope, and that is just great, and Tarkin is one of them. And thanks to this movie, I would say that Tarkin is my 10th favorite Star Wars character of all time. Before that was like 15, 16, 17 perhaps, but now it went up because Tarkin is a great character. He's in my top 3 Star Wars villains, like Darth Vader, Tarkin, and the Emperor. Those 3 are like my favorite 3 Star Wars villains. Now, I have to talk cameos, because there are quite a lot of cameos. I'll just start off with what is by far my favorite cameo, and she isn't even actually a cameo in the movie, it's just a mention. General Syndulla! Oh my god, yes! General Hera Syndulla. I am so happy with that. When I heard that, okay. This is a little embarrassing, because the first time that I saw the movie, I didn't hear it. Because to be honest, it's not very noticeable, and I wasn't listening too well. I was looking all over Yavin for her, but I didn't see her, of course, because she's not in there. But I didn't hear the mention. Afterwards, I saw people on Facebook saying, General Syndulla. I was like, wait, where did you hear that? Well, it was in Rogue One, didn't you hear it? I was like, how the F did I miss this? I don't know why I missed it, but apparently I missed it the first time. But when it was pointed out, like, where it happens, I was like, oh my god, General Syndulla! Awesome! Anyway, Also, the Ghost is in it quite a lot, actually. Like I did see the Ghost the first time that I saw the movie, because of course I was looking for anything Rebels related. Like I saw the Ghost on Yavin, and then afterwards, of course, in the Battle of Scarif. It was great to see it there. It was great to not see it go down or anything. Just as far as we know, it's still alive, and I'm very happy with that, because luckily Hera is alive and the Ghost as well, and the rest of the Rebels characters we don't know. Oh wait, we do know about one of the Rebels characters, because Chopper shows up. I mean, it's very hard to see, I will admit that, but when the Rebel is running towards Mon Mothma to tell her about Scarif, at the very left of the screen, look out for that. Chopper's definitely in there, and you even hear him like make it sound like pop, 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 pop. I didn't notice his sounds when I first saw him, but afterwards people also said like you can hear his bops also, so you should be able to see it, I think. And if you want to know where the General Syndulla part is, if you missed it, it's right before Base Melbus says like how many do we need, right before they go off to Scarif, and they have the... It's between Jin's speech in front of the rebellion and Cassian's speech to Jin. Between that you hear General Syndulla report to... I don't know exactly what. But it's General Syndulla, so I was like, oh my god, it's Hera! Now, some other classic characters that make an appearance with a CGI face. Red Leader, Gold Leader, and Leia. It was just honestly great to see the fighter leaders of their squadrons show up. Like, when you see Gold Leader and you hear his voice as well, it's like, oh yes, it's Gold Leader, it's awesome! And it makes perfect sense for him to be there. It was not shoehorned or anything. It's like, that is a cameo that totally worked for me in terms of Red Leader, Gold Leader, and Leia at the end. Like, CGI faces, pretty good, I'd say, especially because they are very briefly in the movie, so... you don't really see them a whole lot, but like for the moment that they are in the movie, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's that character. So I didn't really pay a lot of attention to the quality of the CGI, especially because it's just too short to really notice it. And it was just great to have them on screen and make perfect sense. And there are some other classic characters that appear that don't have CGI faces. With those I mean, I have to read this because it's hard. Ponda Baba and Cornelius Evazan. I mean, the I Don't Like You Either guy from the bar scene in A New Hope. And, of course, Mon Mothma, Dodonna, and Bail Organa. To have those three in the Rebel room on Yavin was just great to see those three side by side. It put a big smile on my face when I saw that. It was awesome because it makes perfect sense. And then, of course, you get the line that Organa is going off to Alderaan and has to contact the Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, which was really great. And I've heard people say certain things about the I Don't Like You Either guys showing up, because it's like, why are they on Jedi a few days before they are on Tatooine? The thing is, the guy says that he has a death sentence on 12 systems. So the guy probably has been through a lot, been to a lot of planets, and I'm not very much against him being there. It's like, he probably left the planet right after bumping into Jin anyway, so I'm okay with that cameo. A cameo that I'm not really okay with is the 3PO and R2 cameo, because that, I think, makes for some kind of a continuity error. Here's the thing, the Tantive 4 is a ship in the possession of Bail Organa and Leia. That is at the beginning of A New Hope. That has been established even in Rebels and Episode 3. We see the Tantive 4 in Episode 3, of course, with Bail Organa on it. And I really would think that R2 and 3PO would be on the Tantive 4 when they are in Star Wars, right? So if Bill already left Yavin 4 for his ship or whatever, to contact Leia for her ship or whatever, why are R2 and 3PO still on Yavin when they have left already? If anyone can give me a good explanation of that, by all means, let me know in the comments, but I really have an issue with that cameo, because that is a cameo I felt was shoehorned in. You know where they could have showed 3PO and R2 and it would have made sense? At the very end on the Tantive 4. Because that is where they are at the beginning of A New Hope. So why not show them there? I mean, you could have had your cameo, everyone would have been happy, and it would have made sense, and it would not have made me question things. So, I think they fucked up in that case. But other than that, of course, I'm happy to just see R2 and 3PO on screen. They're the two that are in every Star Wars movie, so this one is no different. Now, someone that appears in this movie that we know from Clone Wars is Saw Gerrera. In Clone Wars, when we first see him, he is on Onderon. He is a young guy, one of the first rebels, and he has a sister there. However, spoiler alert for that arc in Clone Wars, the sister dies at the end of that arc. So, after that, he probably became a radical. Like, oh, my sister died, I have nothing to lose, let's just go batshit crazy. Because that is what already happened in Catalyst. Reading about him in Catalyst was really interesting, was really great, and made me like Saw Gerrera a lot. However, then between Catalyst and Rogue One, there's a 15-year time gap. And in those 15 years, something happened to him that made him like all fucked up, that he has all this suit and he has the breathing mask that only keeps him alive, because he says it himself, there's not much of him left. Like, what happened to him? The good thing though, he will appear in Rebels. That has been confirmed. I saw that a few hours ago, and when I saw that I was like, oh, that's great. I hope they give somewhat of an explanation as to what happened to him, because there really is some history of him between when we see him last in Catalyst and when we see him for the first time in Rogue One. And I really want to know something about that. I thought about, like, could they just make a limited run Saw Gerrera comic? I think it would be cool. Give a little bit of backstory to Saw and his band of rebels that we see. So, yeah, I think that would be cool. Now, this video is getting a little long. I think I'm done with the characters, right? I mean, there really isn't a character. Oh, yeah, him. Oh my god. Let's just talk about the best thing in anything ever. Ever. Oh, wait, no, wait. I should probably just begin first with this introduction. On Mustafar. It has been confirmed that it is Mustafar. When I first saw it, I was like, is this Mustafar? It kind of looks like it, but I'm not really sure. But now it has been confirmed that was Mustafar. Okay, cool. Vader has his tower, layer, whatever, on Mustafar. When we first see him, he is in the Bacta tank. That shot that we saw in the first teaser, what everyone was talking about after that first teaser, and everyone forgot about it when the first trailer came out. Like, it kind of died down, and right before the movie came out, I saw a few people ask to people who have seen the movie, like, wait, is the Bacta tank scene even in the movie? A friend of mine asked me after I saw it, like, is it in the movie? And I was like, yeah, it's in the movie. And it's not in a way that I expected it to, because it was a little weird to see that shot in the teaser, but when you see it in the movie, it makes perfect sense, of course. And it was really interesting to see Vader in a Bacta tank without a suit. Like, there's history there. There's mystery there. And don't explain that. Please do not explain why he was in the Bacta tank. I don't care. It's the perfect introduction to Darth Vader. Especially when he then shows up in the suit with Krennic, and he has the line with, "Don't choke on your aspirations, director." Ugh! That is Vader. That right there, I knew was Vader. That is the exact Vader that I know from the original trilogy. Not the whiny bitch that is talking about Padme and screams, "No!" No, not that bullshit. An actual good Vader with the voice actor James Earl Jones that has voiced the character for 40 years. He knows that character. He knows how to voice it. And the lines that were written for him were perfect. And the guy in the suit, I'm not really sure who did it this time, but he did a great job as the guy in the suit. So it's like, when I first saw him on screen on Mustafar, just taunting Director Krennic, I was like, this is Darth motherfucking Vader. But that is not the best thing about this movie. The best thing about this fucking movie is that hallway scene. When Tarkin at one point says, like, okay, contact Lord Vader, I was like, oh, it's going to end with Lord Vader. And then Tarkin says Lord Vader will handle the fleet, and you see the Devastator come out of hyperspace, and you see Lord Vader, and he says, Prepare a boarding party. I just get chill. Oh my god, I just get emotional even thinking about it. Like right after the base on Scarif is destroyed by the Death Star, it pans up to space and you see the Imperial shuttle and the TIE fighters go towards Admiral Radish's ship that has been disabled. And you know who's on board of that shuttle. And you see the rebels like hurrying, like, come on, get the plans, come on, get them. And then they come to the door and it doesn't fully open. It only opens for a little bit, so at least they could give the plans through the door, but nobody's listening to them. And then the camera goes to the hallway and it's all dark and you hear Vader breathing. Oh my god! That scene, come on! I've seen the movie 6 times now. Every fucking time that scene is there, I'm in my chair like, oh my god, yes, this is the best thing ever in Star Wars, ever. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about Luke and Yoda on Dagobah. I don't care about anything else in Star Wars. This is the best thing that has ever happened to Star Wars. Ever. It's like, this is Darth Vader. This is my favorite character of all time. I don't give a shit about anyone else. Darth Vader is the best character in movie history of all time, and this scene shows why. I don't give a shit about anyone else who thinks that, who disagrees with me. You can go fuck yourself. It's Darth Vader. It's Darth motherfucking Vader. That's it. That's all I have to say about it. It's like, oh my god, that scene is... We need a Vader standalone movie. We need a Vader standalone movie with him doing that for 2 hours. That is... Oh my god! Is it fan service? Yeah, so what? Come on! People were cheering in my audience when they saw that scene. Like, when I saw it last night, people were like, oh my god, it's Vader! It's like, oh my god, yes! Everything of that scene. Oh my god, yes. Okay. My excitement is... Whew, okay. Well, now I think I've talked about every classic character appearing in Rogue One. Every character that we already knew from either the movies or Rebels or Clone Wars. If I missed anyone, please let me know in the comments. And then I'll talk about it in my next video. Because my next video will talk about all the new characters that we have. Including the ones from Catalyst, of course. So look out for that review. I'll talk a little bit more about what I think about the other characters in this movie as well. And now I wonder, what was your favorite character in this movie showing up that we already knew from other things? Like, was it Darth Vader, was it Tarkin, or was it someone else? And what was your least favorite? I think my least favorite was just the obligatory R2 and 3PO scene, which really makes me wonder, is there a continuity error created by that cameo? I'm not really sure. Anyway, please, whatever you think, let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like my review and you want to see more of my movie, trailer, and Star Wars reviews, click right here.